Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thanks for popping in. And today we have this Epiphone Les Paul Prophecy in a vintage burst color. It's got sort of a satin finish to it, front and back. There we go. So yeah, thanks to Marshall Music for sending this to me for a quick review and a quick noodle. Just to let you know, I don't get paid for these videos, but I do get supported by Marshall Music, so thanks for that. And I do these videos just for the guitar community, and I'm not here to glorify any guitars. If I find something is great, I'll let you know. If I find something is not as good, I'll also let you know. And that is the whole point about these videos. So yeah, with that in mind, let's get cracking. Just a quick disclaimer that the sounds that you're going to hear in any of my videos are not the definitive sounds of this guitar or any other guitar. It is just what I happen to hear and what I'm getting through my module, and these patches are my gigging sounds, and they're based on my Les Paul or humbucker patches. So I just plug the guitar straight in, and that's basically what you hear. And they're recorded direct to the desk, so you'll probably get different results based on the equipment that you use. And my advice is to go do some research and listen to a few guys reviewing these guitars so that you can make up your own mind. Best yet, go into the store and have a noodle with some equipment or some amps that you're familiar with to make up your own mind. So from now on I'll be doing a score sheet, and you can see I've categorized into 5 categories, and each category is worth 10 points. So yeah, before we get into the sounds, let's get into the specs. So as you can see, it's competing with PRS SE guitars, some Yamaha Rev Stars, not all of them obviously, because there are some higher priced ones. It's also competing with the likes of Gibson. And it looks like you can buy an actual Gibson for the same money. Yeah, Gibson Les Paul Special Tribute. So yeah, so it's got a mahogany body and a top maple cap with a what they call a AAA flamed maple veneer, I would imagine. The finish is aged gloss. It's got the mahogany neck with an ebony fretboard and a slim taper neck shape with a 12-inch radius. So it's very comfortable to bend and play. It's got the perloid blocks with abalone triangles, 24 jumbo frets, and a scale length of 24.724 inches. The nut material is a Tech Newbone nut. It's just got your standard Epiphone Tunematic bridge and stop bar tailpiece. Tuners are Grovermatic locking tuners. The pickups, we've got the Fishman Fluence pickups with 2 push-pull volume controls and 2 push-pull tone controls, and the volume controls are for the coil split and the tone controls are for the vintage or modern sound. Unfortunately, there is no gig bag, so that you'll have to buy separately. Right, let's talk about the fit and finish. When the guitar came to me, the action was not really any good. It was, in fact, I just used my cards, and this is a quick and easy way to check. I usually go with 4 cards, and that'll be 1.2 millimeters. And that I measure from the bottom of the string at the 12th fret to the top of the fret, and I just slide them underneath to see what that is. But in this particular case, as it came out the box, it was 8 cards high. It's 2.5 millimeters, which I thought was pretty excessive. So I just lowered the action by turning down these 2 screws here. And for the rest, I haven't done anything. I just did that so that I can have a nice noodle over the last 2 days, just to see what this guitar's all about. So yeah, fit and finish. Let's have a look. Right, so it's finished in a kind of a satin color. Which is nice. It's nice and even, although the back seems to be smoother than the front. Don't know if you can hear that. And just by the way, guys, to clean these guitars, you don't need any polish or anything fancy. Just get yourself a one of these microfiber cloths. And there's a few types, and the one you want is the one with the fine loops, and they're a little bit more expensive than the other ones because they absorb the water nicely. So you just put 1 or 2 drops of dishwashing liquid on, run that on the tap, get it wet, wring it out, let it dry for an hour so that it's just cold in your hands. You know, it's not wet or anything like that. And then with that, you can just wipe down the guitar. It'll remove any fingerprints, won't leave any lines, and it won't harm the finish at all. So that's just a quick tip for you there. So as I say, it came in a satin finish. See, there's a bit of a mark here. There we go. And the binding is, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4 plies on the top. The back obviously won't have binding because of this comfort carve over here. It is carved, but it's not a Gibson. So don't expect that. But it does have a carved top. And the body is mahogany. It's got a bit of a maple cap, I think, and a maple veneer. Now, for my money, if this was gloss, just the front was gloss, and the rest was satin, I think that would have taken it to the next level, to be honest. But that's just my personal opinion, because over time, with playing, I think this will show quite a few marks, and it doesn't have a scratch plate, as you can see. So in time, you'll see some marks that you won't be able to buff out because you're going to obviously have a shiny spot here, which is not what you're after. So I think if they had just made this top part gloss, which is the part most people see, any little scratches you get, you can just buff out. But anywho, it's not the case. The buttons are very nice. They're, I think they're a mild steel, and they've got quite a bit of weight to them. So they feel very good when you activate the push-pulls and when you do your volume swells. They feel smooth and solid. Very nice. All the hardware is brushed. And when I say brushed, I mean that lightly, because all the hardware started out as just plain chrome, and at the factory they just ran over it with a bit of Scotch-Brite, it seems, and they didn't get everywhere. So the sides of the bridge are not brushed, only the top. Also the machine heads are brushed, but also not very well, I'll be completely honest. And I'll just cut to the close-up there. You can see someone just quickly went over it with the Scotch-Brite, and half the machine head is brushed and the other half isn't. So that's a bit of a miss there for me. I mean, if you're going to go brushed, then go all the way. It's got the Fishman Fluencer pickups, as we know, and that gives you quite a variety of tones. Not only split coil, but also some voicing. So the 2 volume knobs are for the split coil, and the 2 tone knobs are for the voicing, and the bottom ones are for the bridge pickup, and the 2 top ones are for the neck pickup. Nice, solid feeling 3-way switch, nothing wrong with that. As I say, the buttons are very nice. Look, the hardware is nice. It's not that it's bad, but I think if they're going to brush it, then they should do a nice job, a better job for that sort of money, because this, after all, is the top of the range Epiphone. It's not the cheapest Epiphone, it's the top of the range. But anyway, the binding is a pure white binding, as you can see on the top of the fretboard. I don't know if you're going to see that. The side, it's yellow. So obviously when they put clear coat over the top, they tinted the clear coat to give it an amber kind of a aged look, which is actually quite pleasant, because you don't want pure white binding. That just looks there. Got beautiful Grover locking tuners. There we go. So there's part of the cost there for you. Obviously, it's got this comfort carve over here, so that's a bit more expensive to do as well. Takes a bit more time. It's got these double material inlays, some of which is pearl and the other is abalone. But the pearl, I believe, is not even a real pearl. I think it's a synthetic pearl. The abalone, however, is real. It's got the very nice new headstock shape, which is a slightly contentious issue on the interforums, I see. Some people prefer the old version. Some people prefer this version. And other people, yet again, want the full open book headstock version. But what is nice about this one, it's got a nice big custom logo here. So that's actually quite cool. I kind of like that. The nut material, they're calling it a new bone nut. It's obviously not bone. I didn't remove it because if I did take it off, I could just drop it on a hard surface to see, just to gauge how hard that material is. If it's got a dull sound, it'll be a more plasticky. And if it's got a more of a pling sound, it'll be more hard, which will give you a slightly brighter tone when you're playing the open strings, yeah? Fretwork, the fret edges are look, I can feel a couple of little sharp points, but you're not going to slice your hand. But I'll be honest, I have felt better at this price range. And one thing I did notice, and I don't know if you're going to hear this. No, you won't hear it. But the frets are a little bit scratchy. So they could have been polished a little bit more, I'll be honest. The nice thing about this cover, because the pickups are active, I couldn't measure the output. But to change the battery, you just flip the switch. It's got a nice little tag over here that I'm battling to get out now. Just pull that, battery comes out, put a new battery in and close. So you don't have to remove the cover to change the battery. So that's happy days on that one. Let's talk about what you get for your money. So we've spoken about the Grover tuners, so that's a nice addition. So there's some money spent over there. We've got the comfort carve over here, obviously. We've got the Fishman Fluence pickups, which are not cheap. And by the installation of 4 push-pull pots, you're going to get all the options. So you're going to get splitting coils and the voicing. So that's very nice. You don't get a bag for this, unfortunately. It comes in a nice box. So if you want a bag, you'll have to buy that separately. You get 24 medium jumbo frets. You get the block inlays, which are double material, so that's very nice. And an ebony board, just by the way. So that's cool, yeah? So let's go through some of the sounds, because I'm just running through my Ampera as usual. And what you hear is straight to the computer. There's nothing in between. And these are actually my gigging sounds that I use for my other guitars. So I haven't made sounds. I just like to have a bank of sounds. And for all humbucking guitars, I just plug it into that bank and the guitar just sounds the way it sounds. And for all single coils, I've got a different bank, and if I plug in a telly or anything with a single coil, it goes into that bank, because they are obviously a little bit different. So anywho, let's get through the sounds. It's going to take a while, so just bear with me. And before we do that, let me tune it. So I'm just going to go through all the pickups, and let's see what we get. So let's just play clean and see what we get. So this is neck and down, full humbucker mode. Split coil mode. Voice 2, which only works in the humbucker mode, by the way. So I'll just go back to normal. Voice 2. And to be honest, I'm actually battling to hear the difference. It might be the guitar, maybe there's a loose wire, I'm not sure, but on this pickup, I'm actually battling to hear the second voice. Comment below if you can hear it. I can hear the split coil version. I'll try and split coil with the second voice, there'll be no difference. So there we go. Middle position. Splitting the neck coil. Splitting the bridge. Down, second voice. A lot of combinations. I haven't even worked it out how many there are. But let's carry on. Bridge, humbucker. Second voice, a split. Second voice. I'll go back to normal first. Second voice. So a very subtle change. I'm not really getting the benefit of having these Fishmans in here. And the situation becomes even more apparent the more drive you put on. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure. Maybe some other users can enlighten me and show me their videos, and we'll have a look. Let's add a bit of dirt. And we'll just start with the neck in full humbucker mode, voice 1. Split coil. Second voice. Normal. Second voice. Okay, we're going to bypass the middle and go straight to the bridge. Humbucking mode. Normal. Split. Second voice. So even less apparent changes. Let's go to full overdrive. And we'll start on the neck. Split. Second voice. Go down to the bridge, normal. Split. Normal. Second voice. Normal. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's an issue with the wiring or if that's how subtle the tones are supposed to be, because the only time I can really hear any difference is in the clean. So yeah, those are the tones. Maybe you'll have better luck than me. I'm not seeing the benefit of having these in here. I used to have a Prophecy before. It was a 2016 model. I'll throw a quick picture up on that. So to me, that particular guitar, that previous model, was more player friendly. This is a bit of a you have to choose. You have to choose at the beginning of the song what voicing you want. If you want voicing number 2, you'd have to set it up beforehand. And I can't really hear a difference, I'll be honest. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. Let's throw a quick solo sound in there. Here we go. So, certainly got enough sustain. So there's no problem with the sustain. I'm not even running through a monitor. If I had a monitor on it, that would sustain forever, I'm sure. So yeah, there are the sounds. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I might be. So don't judge the guitar on my experience. You might have maybe through pedals and an amp, sound completely different. And of course, these are not the tones of the guitar. This is just what I happen to have set up. We'll try that in split. We'll try that in the second voicing. So for the first category, the fit and finish, I did find some irregularities in the wood shaping, and I found the paint a bit rough in some areas. So for me, this one gets a 5. For the equipment supplied, I found the tuners a bit stiff. They're not as smooth as some of the other guitars that I've tried, even from the same brand. The paint is a bit rough in some areas. The pickups in this particular instance, I find a bit of a miss. I didn't quite get the benefit of them. But as I said before, this could just be my own settings. You might get different results. So for me, I give this a 5. Playability. Action out of the box was very high. Action at the nut could be improved. And the frets were a bit rough. So I give this a 5. Sound-wise, if I just ignore all the toys, all the push-pulls and all the voicings, just in general, the sound is good. I'll give that an 8. Price value. I think that where this guitar is priced, there are a lot of options available, even from the same brand. The previous guitar by Epiphone that I reviewed, to me, was a better value. It looked nicer, the finish was nicer, and for that reason I give this one a 6. Total score on this Epiphone Prophecy is a 29 out of 50. So there we go, guys. That's the Epiphone Les Paul Prophecy for 2022 in this aged finish. They call it aged, I call it satin. It's well built, it's nice. I mean, it is comfortable. It's got some nice appointments to it. The tuners, the ebony board, Fishman Fluence pickups, all the push-pull variations. So, happy days. Who's this guitar for? I would say this guitar is for the person that wants to try something different. I believe the pickups are pretty hot on this. I can't measure them. So probably great for metal. Let's give it a quick test there, actually. That rocks. I'm not a metal player. So there we go. Probably very good for pop, rock, heavy metal, jazz, not so much, I don't reckon. So we'll cover a lot of bases. If you're in the area at Marshall Music, you can use the affiliate link below that I've written in the description, and that helps the channel out. And thanks so much for visiting, having a look. And if you like what I'm doing, please hit the like and subscribe button. I noticed that 90% of you are not subscribed. And if you were to subscribe, then I can do even more videos for you guys. So, guys, thank you so much for visiting. If you like this sort of thing, please hit the like and subscribe button. And, yeah. And, yeah, we'll see you later.